fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Monday edition of the Morning Spread right here on the Betting News Network. I'm your host, Nate Hornung, better known online as Shaggy Bets. I got producer Sook helping me out in the shadows as well. And before we get into the regular housekeeping, we've got soccer starting in less than 60 seconds. Spain and Cape Verde are taking the pitch right now, so let's get into my favorite bet in that match. Spain is a very heavy favorite for a reason, people. They're a favorite to win the entire World Cup. They are a shoo-in to win this match. So how can we find value? Well, I'm viewing this game as we saw Germany annihilate Curacao yesterday, a 7-1 victory. I think we see something similar today with Spain, which is why we're going with a first half 45-minute sweat on Spain's team total. Spain's first half team total over 1.5 at plus 104. Little plus money here, but again, I think this Spanish side is going to start out red freaking hot. They scored 21 goals in 6 World Cup qualifying matches to get to this tournament. They have no trouble scoring at all. And a team like Cape Verde, with all due respect, they have no business being in this tournament. All right, they're only here because we have an extended 48-team field. Cape Verde, much like Curacao, much like Haiti, one of the worst teams in this entire tournament. Spain, one of the best. We've got a big talent discrepancy here, and I think Spain takes advantage early, leaving no doubt netting a couple of first-half goals for us. So, Spain, first-half team total, over 1.5 at plus 104. Plus money still widely available, but that one getting started here right now. They're not quite kicking the ball off, but they're getting ready to do so. Spain first half team total. Please keep me posted. Please keep me posted. Stifler is on the same play. What could go wrong, folks? You love to see it. Hopefully this Spanish team starts out red hot, and we'll be celebrating a couple of golazos here shortly. So that's what we got. First and foremost, Spain first half team total over 1.5 for plus money. All right. Back to the housekeeping. This is episode 75 of the Morning Spread right here on the BNN. It is brought to you by our lovely sponsors at Lucky Rebel Sportsbook. Go to luckyrebel.la, click that QR code up above my head, get yourself a $1,250 deposit bonus as well as 50 slot spins immediately in your account. And they are off, people. The World Cup officially off for this Monday. What are we going to talk about right here on the Morning Spread? Well, we've got 3 more World Cup matches that we're going to get into. I have picks in 2 of those 3, still trying to figure out the nightcap tonight. We might have a play, we might not, but we're going to talk about all 3 of those matches regardless. We're also going to get into the Stanley Cup Finals. What happened this past weekend? Congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes lifting Lord Stanley. Still kicking myself for not taking them at plus money after game 1. Didn't take them for plus money after game 3. And they went and won the series in 6. Congratulations to Carolina. Wish I would have been a part of your celebration. But alas, I was too stingy with my units. It is what it is. The NBA Finals also happened this past weekend. The New York Knicks brought a championship home to the city of New York for the first time in over 50 years. First time in the finals since 1999. Congratulations to the Knicks for getting the job done. Now, I'm your only show this morning afternoon, whatever you want to call it here on the BNN. But come on back at 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern. We will have Afternoon Betspresso live. And we have quite the lineup for Betspresso. A little 5-headed monster from the team here at BN. SBJ, Vsauce, myself, Adam Kaufman, and Sook will be live talking all things NBA and NHL Finals. We'll be talking some MLB and WNBA bets and recapping what we saw in the World Cup, as well as giving out best bets for the later matches as well. So full schedule for you right here on the BNN. Spain, 2 minutes in, man, I need a goal. All right, I need a goal. I know it's early. We still got 43 minutes to play with. I'd really like one in the back of the net before the 10-minute mark. That would be absolutely phenomenal. Please and thank you. How we doing, folks? Happy Monday. welcome to the show. We're going to start off like we always do. Let's pull up some geography. Let's do some geosports. Let's see how good we are at today's rounds. I actually forgot to play this weekend, folks. Not being here on stream with all of you kind of got me out of my routine a little bit. I forgot to play this weekend's round, so I hope they weren't super entertaining. But we'll see what happens today on geosports. Yep, there it is. I'll let you bring that one up. Stifler in mid-season form already, as we can see. Let's see how good he is at geography. Kevin Durant. He won NBA Rookie of the Year with a franchise from this city after being drafted second overall in 2007. Kevin Durant spent did he spend 2 seasons with the Supersonics before they moved to OKC? He was there at least a year. Maybe 2 years before they moved to OKC, but the Seattle Supersonics is what we're looking for. 2 miles off. Bullseye. What is going on in Kansas DP only meeting with the Wiz? I need more abbreviations, Ronan. You're not talking about Darren Peterson. Oh, yeah, you are talking about Darren Peterson. What's going on with him only meeting with the Wizards? The Wizards have the number 1 overall pick, right? Is he that confident that he's going number 1, I guess? Because the odds would not suggest that. The odds still have AJ DeBonsa, I believe, as a heavy favorite. It's an aura play. It might be, to be honest. Let me pull up these odds in front of me if I can get them. Here we go. NBA draft. Yeah, AJ DeBonsa is still minus 450 to be the number 1 overall pick. Darren Peterson at plus 370. But I guess here's the thing. I've heard that, and Sook can, I believe, back me up on this. The Utah Jazz, very, very interested in AJ DeBonsa to the point that they might flip picks with the Wizards and go number 1 and take AJ DeBonsa number 1, keeping him in Utah. Therefore, the Wizards might get that number 2 pick, and maybe they are drafted DP. And maybe that's the Wizards' thought is, hey, if we get the number 1 overall pick, we'll take DeBonsa, but we're open to trade it if Utah's willing to move up. Therefore, maybe DP is pretty confident he's going to go to Washington, whether that be first or second overall. Kind of a shoo-in to be drafted by the Wizards there. So that is my best explanation, I guess, about why he's only meeting with the Wizards. Kind of maybe set in stone that he's going to go to Washington. Again, whether that be pick 1 or 2, but that's my best explanation, Ronan. I couldn't tell you, but yeah, AJ DeBonsa is still minus 450 to be the number 1 overall pick. Yeah, Stifler, I was a little worried about that abbreviation as well. So what's up, Chew? How you doing, sir? Popeyes for lunch. I love it. I might have to get some Popeyes after this show because I'm a little hungry, not going to lie. I'm really hungry for a couple of Spanish goals, though. Come on, Spain. Quit playing with your food. Put them in the back of the freaking net. All right, folks, moving on. We got geography. Question number 2. Let's see what happens. Actually, Durant, he was drafted by the Supersonics in June 2007, averaged 20.3 points per game as a rookie. The franchise relocated to OKC in the summer of 2008, so it was just 1 year. He played for the Supersonics, becoming the Thunder. Seattle has been without an NBA team ever since, but I've heard that Seattle's still up there towards the top of the expansion list. Apparently, if the NBA were to expand, Seattle is up there for getting another team, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, them in Vegas. No one likes Kansas City, apparently. But rumors that KC would need to move an NBA and a WNBA or an NBA and an NHL team. Rumors we'd need 2 of the 3 in order to make the move worth it for the local economy. But who knows? City still owns the name and the colors. Interesting. Who would have thought? Stifler, Kane's number 1. That's all you need. That's the whole ranking you need. Kane's is number 1. Plain and simple. Moving on. Since 2017, college football fans in this city have waved to children watching from a hospital overlooking the stadium. One of the best traditions in all of college football. We are looking for Iowa City, Iowa, home of the Iowa Hawkeyes. And I believe it's East Iowa. I think it's this guy. It's not Cedar Rapids on the border, but I want to say it's this guy because you got Des Moines here. Ames is up north of Des Moines. I want to say this is Iowa City. I'm going to lock that in. It was the other metropolitan area right there. 24 miles off. We'll take it. The Hawkeyes wave began at Kinnick Stadium after a fan suggested the idea on Facebook. At the end of every first quarter, 70,000 fans, players, and coaches turned to the 12th floor of the Stead Family Children's Hospital to wave at pediatric patients gathered at the windows. Great tradition, one of the best in all of college football. Spain, I need a goal, man. We're 8 minutes in. Quit playing with your food, please, and thank you. In 1905, was anyone around then? 1905? Honus Wagner became the first baseball player to sign a bat endorsement deal with a company from this city. I got to think this is Louisville. We're talking about the Louisville Slugger brand. Yeah, that's where my head's at, Stifler. Got to be Louisville. And I was thinking it's this guy, but now I'm thinking it's over here. Because there's Cincinnati. I think this little guy is Lexington over here. That looks like a Louisville to me. I like it. I'm locking it in. See how we're doing. Boom. There it is. September 1st, 1905. Wagner signed with J.F. Hillerich and Son, later Hillerich and Bradsby, to put his autograph on Louisville Slugger bats. It was the first endorsement deal between any athlete and a sporting goods company. The Pirate shortstop had used Hillerich bats since his Louisville Colonel days. There you have it. Honus Wagner, first baseball player to sign a bat endorsement deal with the Louisville Sluggers. Shaggy Betts, one of the only 16-year-olds to be able to roll up a Louisville Slugger of his own. Jolly Bees. I've not heard of Jolly Bees, Sook. That's a new one. But apparently it's solid, according to Stifler. Maybe they got Jolly Bees down in Florida. I really haven't even heard of that.
It's Filipino fried chicken. They have like spaghetti and stuff. It's pretty big out there.
All right. Unfortunately, there are no physical Jollibee locations in the greater Kansas City area, with the closest spots situated in states further to the west and the south. Yeah, let me pull up this physical locator. Let me see where the closest Jollibee is. Let's see. Here we go. No results within 500 miles of Kansas City. Looks like I'm going to have to road trip if I want to go to a little Jollibee's. There's a Jollibee's in Denver, apparently. Probably the closest one to myself. So I might have to make the trip. Oh, Spain, you almost had it. Might have to make the trip out to Denver to try some Jollibee's Filipino fried chicken, apparently. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I'm always down to try new foods. Big fatty here. Before being stripped of all his titles, Lance Armstrong won cycling's biggest race 7 times, all finishing in this city. The Tour de France has got to finish in Paris, right? I would imagine it doesn't end anywhere besides Paris. Speak now, or forever hold your peace if I'm wrong, but I'm rocking in Paris, France. We would be correct. The Tour de France is finished every year since 1975. I'm not reading French. Armstrong crossed the line first from 99 to 2005, but was stripped of all 7 titles by the UCI in October 2012 after USADA investigation. The record books show 7 blank years. Don't you think it's a truly amazing list? Yeah, definitely a weight imbalance that Mr. Armstrong was dealing with. I remember this was a massive deal in Kansas City specifically because Sporting's stadium used to be called Livestrong Sporting Park, sponsored by his brand Livestrong. Those yellow bracelets that everybody had that had a positive message towards them. But unfortunately, Lance Armstrong, caught cheating. Can't be tolerating that. So it became just Sporting Park for a couple of years before being taken over by Children's Mercy. But yeah, Sporting KC used to play at Livestrong Sporting Park probably up until October of 2012, if I had to guess. All right, folks, one more. Muhammad Ali's famous Rumble in the Jungle victory over George Foreman took place in this African capital. Was this before he started selling grills and barbecue equipment? Was this beforehand? Must have been. Famous Rumble in the Jungle. I really don't know, folks. Manila. No, that was the Thrilla. That was the Thrilla in Manila. This is the Rumble in the Jungle. It's also telling us it took place in this African capital. Congo? Six throwing out Congo. I can get behind it. No idea what city. Whoa, we're looking for the capital, if it is in Congo. Now, the big one's Congo. This is the Democratic Republic of Congo, right? I think. I feel like we've learned this before. No idea what's in. If I'm wrong about the Congo, sorry. Hey, Sook, I don't have a better guess, brother. I don't have a better guess. So we're going based off your knowledge right here. Stifler. We're just gonna find a nice metropolitan area, which I know kind of looks like it could be something. Rumble in the Jungle, though. I gotta think maybe we're looking for somewhere along those lines. You know what? We're just gonna go right there in the jungle. We're gonna see what happens. That lake is it, as in this lake, or is it that lake? Does that look like a lake? I guess that kind of looks like a lake. It definitely looks like some metropolitan area around said lake. So let's do it. See what happens. Thank you, Stifler. Thank you, Stifler. Spain can't finish. Not reading that. The fight took place on October 30th, 1974 at the 20th of May Stadium at 4 a.m. local time to hit U.S. primetime. They fought at 4 a.m. local time. That is absurd. Ali, he used his rope-a-dope tactic to tire Foreman before knocking him out. In the 8th round, promoter Don King secured 5 million purses for both fighters from Zaire's president. There you have it, folks. There you have it, 995. About as close to perfect as you can get without getting there. We're going to take it. We are absolutely taking it. 995 out of 1,000. Plain and simple. That had to be a card. I mean, you could argue that's a red with the arms up near the head, but I mean, I don't think it was that malicious. Did they give him a card? They had to give him a card. All right, folks. Where would I be without Stifler's huge brain? I don't know where I'd be. I wouldn't be getting 995. That's for sure. Wouldn't be getting 995. And Stifler, let's keep using that big brain of yours and do some Geo footy. See if we're any good at this game today, because apparently me playing this game, not a good promotion of my scribbles, because apparently my soccer geography, not great. Well, guess what? We're 6-4-1 betting the World Cup. We're up a couple of units, so peep those scribbles. Mo Salah, his record-breaking transfer to Liverpool in 2017 came from a club in this city. I can picture him in a Chelsea jersey? That doesn't seem right, though. Oh, was he playing in the French league at all? I'm kind of sticking with Chelsea. No idea. I think it's Chelsea. We get greedy, Bisney. 3.5. We're getting greedy. You don't have to get greedy. It was not Chelsea. Roma. Apparently he played for Roma. Liverpool paid Roma 36.9 million euros in June 2017, a club record at the time, surpassing the $35 million fee for Andy Carroll. Salah scored 44 goals in his debut season, won the PFA Player of the Year. Why are we greedy? Because Egypt's going to be playing for a draw, but they've got no offense outside of the guy we're actually talking about right now, Mo Salah. Zero offense besides Mo Salah. Belgium's defense, rock freaking solid. Probably going to have a shutout. And I just don't see Belgium running up the score or being able to run up the score. So I'm getting greedy with the plus money. Belgium and the under 3.5. Plus 125 is what I snagged. But plus 127 right now, Unlucky Rebel, according to Mr. Bisney. Before winning the Ballon d'Or, George Best became a Manchester United legend after leaving the city at age 15. This is not my game, apparently. George Best. All I can picture him as a Man U legend. This guy played back in the day. I am Googling right now, folks. I'm cheating. He played for Man U in 1963. And I'm supposed to know where he played beforehand? Wild. I mean, he's English or Irish. He's one of the two. Wrexham? Could be Wrexham. I don't know, but I mean, Manchester's up here. I know that's not the answer, but we'll just guess London because I've got really no clue. But apparently Northern Ireland was what we were looking for. Belfast, Northern Ireland. Scout Bob Bishop sent the famous telegram to Matt Busby. I think I've found you a genius. Best joined United as an amateur in 1961, debuted at age 17 in 1963, won the Ballon d'Or in 68 at age 22 after United's European Cup triumph. Probably Belfast. It was probably Belfast. Estadio Hernando Siles sits nearly 12,000 feet above sea level in this capital city. I don't think that's Mexico City. But 12,000 feet above sea level, it might be. Do we want to guess Mexico City or do we pick like a South American capital? 12,000 feet above sea level is pretty up there. I don't know that I'd have a better guess. Spain, we are 20 minutes in, please. Find the back of the freaking net. Where's Mexico City? Right around here. Freddie, what are you doing, dude? I can hear you going at yourself, apparently. I can't. I think that's Mexico City. It's probably wrong. It was wrong. Should have picked Bolivia. La Paz, Bolivia. It opened in 1930. Home to Bolivar and the strongest. Stadium sits at roughly 3,637 meters. FIFA briefly banned high-altitude World Cup qualifiers in 2007 before granting them an exemption. Bolivia famously beat Argentina 6-1 here in 2009. Before his Premier League career, Michael Essen developed at Liberty Professionals in this Ghanaian capital. Well, that makes it easy, right? If I can just find Ghana. Ghanaian capital. We're just going to look for the biggest metropolitan area in Ghana, right? Is this even Ghana? Like, I'm basing that off of the GN. I think this is Ghana. I'm sticking with it. As far as the metropolitan area, aren't really finding one. Don't know what all that is. It's got to be this coast. Wow, apparently we're not in Ghana. Oh, hey, GH, that's probably Ghana. GN's New Guinea. I'm an idiot. We knew that, though. Liberty Professionals is based in the Dansoman suburb of Accra and has also produced other players. Michael Essien moved from Liberty to Bastia in 2000 before joining Lyon, then Chelsea for $24.4 million in 2005. Am I crazy? I thought he was from the Ivory Coast. I must be. Arsene Wenger, he managed Arsenal for 22 years after arriving from a club in this Asian city. Fuck if I know. Ugh. I'm going to guess Japan because I don't have a better guess. Nailed it. Oh, nailed it. Wenger, he spent 18 months at this club. Won the Emperor's Cup in 95. Finished second in the J League in 96. He joined Arsenal in September of 1996. Managed there until May of 2018. Didn't win much, Mr. Wenger. He won an EPL title back in 04. But not as much as you'd hoped if you were Arsenal. Spain needs to figure it out, people. Spain needs to figure it out. I clearly need to figure out my footy geography because 67% not going to cut it, folks. We failed today. All right, that's not a passing grade in amongst most grading books. I guess some will let you pass with a 60, but 67 not cutting it, not great. Oh well, we tried. We tried, but good news is we're here to talk about sports. We got 3 World Cup matches to get to, as well as maybe some MLB. I might save that for Espresso. Taking a quick glance at the MLB slate. I will have scribbles out for some MLB picks later today. But let's get into the FIFA World Cup. We got 3 matches left to go today. Everything just starting 3 hours after the prior match. So today, games in Central Time at 11, 2, 5, and 8. That is noon, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock Eastern. Next up, at Lumen Field in Seattle, we've got Belgium and Egypt going head-to-head. And we talked about it a little bit already. We're taking the Belgians on the money line and the under 3.5 in this match. Belgium in a very, very easy group. To be honest, Belgium in a group with Egypt, Iran, and now I'm blanking on the final team in their group, but they're so irrelevant, it doesn't matter. Belgium, heavy favorite. They should win all 3 group games in this group stage easily. Egypt is going to be able to compete and contain them for the most part, not for the full 90 minutes in my eyes. Belgium coming off 2 huge friendly victories. They beat Tunisia 5-0. They beat Croatia 2-0 in their most recent friendlies prior to the World Cup. The offense clearly clicking, scoring 7 goals in those 2 matches. The defense absolutely stellar, not conceding a single goal in those 2 contests. Egypt, they did take 3rd in the African Cup of Nations. They beat Nigeria on penalty kicks after a scoreless match. Prior to that, they lost to Senegal 1-0 in the semifinals. Belgium is probably going to squeak out a 1-0, 2-0 victory tonight. It's going to be tough. They're going to have to earn it, but I don't see Egypt putting the ball in the back of the net, so I don't see them contributing to this total at all. I don't see it getting out of hand. I don't see this being a 4-0 Belgian win because, again, Belgium should be able to win every game of their group. Goal differential shouldn't come into play for them. They should just top this group with 9 points. That starts today with a victory over Egypt. So, Belgium and the under 3.5 plus 125 is what we found for that same game parlay. Fam, hello, welcome. Please tell Spain to score. Please tell Spain to score plus 127 on Lucky Rebel there from Mr. Bisney for that same game parlay. If you want to take the under 4.5, give yourself a little more cushion in case we do see a 3-1 Belgium victory. Go for it. Pay in about minus 114 for that. But I'll take the under 3.5. Again, see this being a very, very low-scoring game that Belgium is able to squeak out a win. Next up, we've got Uruguay taking on Saudi Arabia. Now, these two teams are projected to finish second and third in their group. Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and then Cape Verde. Obviously, we've got Spain and Cape Verde going off right now. Still need 2 goals from the Spanish in this first half, which is looking less and less likely unless they can finish this one. I wanted that, folks. I wanted that. Still got possession. We're fine. Spain and Cape Verde going on right now. Uruguay and Saudi Arabia, the other two teams in this group, going head-to-head later tonight. Now, this match is going to be in Miami. It is extremely hot in Miami, from what I've been told. Stifler, let me know. I don't know how close you are to Miami, but I'm sure Florida, crazy hot right now. I've seen plenty of weather updates for this match specifically, but Uruguay and Saudi Arabia going head-to-head. I took a same-game parlay here. We went with Uruguay on the money line and the over 1.5 at minus 120. Now, this is a full game over. This is not a team total for Uruguay, all right? This is the full game over. I also endorse Uruguay's team total over 1.5. You can find that probably around this price, minus 120. I was seeing minus 130, minus 135. Opted for this for a little less juice. But if Uruguay scores 2 goals, they should win this game. Plain and simple. So this is a number that they can clear by themselves. And again, 2 goals should be enough to win this match. You could take this up to 2.5 if you'd like, 4+ money, because I do see either a 3-0 or 3-1 victory here for Uruguay. Now, why not take the over 2.5 with that? You know, you got a point, Bisney. 2-0 wouldn't surprise me here. I don't see Saudi Arabia contributing. So going with the over 1.5 here. Again, I think Uruguay handles business, right? They know the rest of their group's standings, all right? It's Spain, it's Uruguay, it's Saudi, it's Cape Verde in that order. And there's a pretty clear gap between each of those teams. Uruguay should be looking ahead to this third and final group stage match against Spain, which is likely going to decide the group. Because if all goes to chalk, Spain is going to beat Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. Uruguay is going to beat Saudi Arabia and then Cape Verde. Then the two will match up in their third and final group stage game, both with 6 points apiece, with that match likely deciding the group. Now, if that is the scenario we're going to see, Uruguay is going to need help on goal differential, right? If they're going to run up the score against Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia, go into that match against Spain with a higher goal differential, then they can play for the draw and still top the group. That's a spot Uruguay would want to be in at the end of this group stage. I don't understand how Spain doesn't have one in the back of the net yet. It's actually starting to piss me off 32 minutes in. Saudi Arabia has not been battle tested like Uruguay has. All right, Saudi Arabia, they drew with Senegal. They lost to Ecuador in a couple of recent friendlies. Now they face a top 20 team in the nation. That's going to be a rude awakening for them. This Uruguayan team, very, very good. Headlined by midfielder Federico Valverde, plays for Real Madrid, was a stud for them this season. Darwin Nunez up top still has plenty left in the tank as well. And I do really like this Uruguayan defense on the backside as well. So give me Uruguay. Give me the over 1.5 at minus 120 for a little same game parlay. Again, I don't hate Uruguay's team total for about the same juice, but 2 goals probably enough to win this match. So give me Uruguay on the money line and the over 1.5 for minus 120 as Uruguay takes on Saudi Arabia later today. And then last but not least, why does that look weird? Oh, I got to update that article. That'll be fun. Iran and New Zealand. Last game of the night, going head-to-head out at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Iran is a substantial favorite in this match, and it's moving up because Iran was priced, I remember seeing yesterday, minus 105 on the money line. Now they're up to minus 125. Clearly people buying in on the Iranians. I'm staying off of this game for now. I might find something later. I'll be back on Betspresso here in about 4.5 hours or so to talk to you guys about this match specifically. But I'm probably going to hold off because what I saw with Australia and Turkey really messed with my rankings of these Oceania teams. I didn't think much of them. All right, Australia and New Zealand, and I probably shouldn't think much of New Zealand going into this match as well, but I'm also not necessarily convinced that Iran's a top 20 team in the world, which is where they're currently ranked. I don't know if I'm buying that. I am buying in that these Oceania teams are a lot better than I had ranked them prior to the World Cup. We saw Australia take down Turkey 2-0. Turkey, a team that a lot of people had winning Group D. Australia, a team that a lot of people had just written off as not going to be competitive in that group. Now they're sitting with a chance to top the group if they can upset the U.S. on Friday. New Zealand, a completely different team, obviously, than Australia, two different countries. But I still think that my personal rankings of these teams is not where it needs to be. So with that in mind, I'm just going to watch this match. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to see what happens, and then we're going to go forward and bet accordingly based off what we see between Iran and New Zealand. In my mind, Iran should win this game 2-0 fairly easily. They are a minus 130 favorite for a reason, but I am just a little bit worried. I'm less confident in my own personal rankings of this team after watching what Australia did to Turkey. That was a big surprise. Might have been the biggest surprise of the tournament so far. Yes, Qatar drawing with Switzerland, also a big surprise. Qatar didn't earn that draw. Switzerland just lost it, basically, not being able to score from the field on 25 freaking shots. Switz minus 1.5. What the hell? Thought that would have been a shoo-in, but apparently not. Anyways, congrats to Qatar. With Iran and New Zealand, I'm just going to sit this out. I again, fairly confident that Iran's going to be able to win this game easily, but very, very worried about my projections of these Oceania teams after seeing what Australia did. So I'm going to hold off. I'm still not high on New Zealand, probably for the right reasons, but we're going to hold this one off. I just don't necessarily see value. If Iran was priced more plus 110, plus 120 range, maybe I'd be willing to take a stab, but for minus 125, I don't want to pay that juice in a game that likely ends in a draw. So we'll see what happens. But Iran, New Zealand, nothing from me as of right now. Come on back to Betspresso here in a couple hours, and we'll see if I find a bet in that game. But unlikely. I'll be diving into the diamond a little bit this afternoon, getting you guys ready for Betspresso. No, I thought we had it. Oh, that was the one, man. So we're less than 10 minutes till halftime now. It is not looking good, folks. Oh, he was offsides anyways. Wasn't going to matter. Yeah, he's clearly offsides. Hell of a save from that keeper, too. That, again, ended up not really mattering. Was that Pedri? Pedri put it just over the top bar. Oh, not great, folks. Not great. I was hoping to be celebrating with you guys on this first half team total. I thought it was already going to cash at this point, but 37 minutes in now, still 0-0. Not looking good for Spain's team total. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Plus money. Can't be too upset about it. Still up for the entire tournament so far. We'll see what happens. All right. Well, folks, that is about what I've got for you guys planned for today's wagers. Cape Verde just sent it over the bar. Now we're going the other way. All right. We're going to look at some MLB. this afternoon prior to Afternoon Betespresso. So be on the lookout for those scribbles at bettingnews.com. We got a ton of new writers here at Betting News as well. So please check out their stuff. Tons of great dudes joining the team, putting out scribbles for baseball. We got new guys covering soccer as well. All kinds of coverage on Betting News. So check us out at bettingnews.com. We got WNBA bets. We got NHL. We obviously got MLB and World Cup. There's some F1 on site as well. Definitely expanding the team here at BN. All great things. Oh, folks, I'm locked into the Spanish match. Like I said, 38 minutes in. I would have expected to have 2. There is very little urgency with this Spanish team. They seem pretty complacent, which is not great when you're 0-0 to a team you should be beating 3-0 at half. It's better than being down 1-0, but come on. Rip it! No urgency. They don't want to win. They don't want to win. It's that simple. All right, folks. What happened this weekend, last night? Stanley Cup playoffs ended. Carolina lifting Lord Stanley after beating Vegas 3-0 in Sin City. VGK just 22 shots on net. There's one! Fuck! Dude! He was on. Off the freaking bar. And then folks, I need a goal right here on this corner. Or I'm ripping up the ticket. I'm ripping up the ticket if we don't score here. It's virtual. I'm not able to rip anything up. Just being dramatic. Just being dramatic because Spain should not be tied with Cape frickin' Verde 40 minutes into this match. I thought they were a World Cup contender. They're not playing like it. Nope. Cleared. Awesome. All right, folks. They keep sucking me back in. Jesus Christ. These guys. Carolina. Congrats to Carolina, lifting Lord Stanley. A 3-0 victory over VGK last night in Sin City. Goals in every period for Carolina. They just dominated start to finish. VGK, like I said, only 22 shots on goal in a do-or-die skates against the wall game at home. That just shows you how good this Carolina's defense has been and is. They make it easy on their goaltender. Carolina looks like they blocked 12 shots throughout this match as well. Neither team took advantage of the power play. Both teams 0 for 3 last night. But Brandon Bussi making the move to starting goaltender for the Carolina Hurricanes kind of ended up being the difference maker in this series. Freddie Anderson was great all playoff long. Didn't really do great first couple of games of the playoffs. They made that roster personnel change, and it worked out. Carolina winning 3 straight games to win this Stanley Cup. First 3, actually, of the series, all decided by just a single goal. A couple of them went into overtime. 3 total OT periods in those first 3 games. Then the Carolina Hurricanes covered the puck line in every single match. One game 4-5-3. One game 5-4-2 at home, and then a 3-0 shutout victory on the road to win Lord Stanley. Not a great showing from the Golden Knights, if we're being honest. At home, season on the line, and you can't even muster up a single goal for your hometown fans. I mean, Taylor Hall got the scoring started early, less than 4 minutes into the game, and it was all Carolina since then. Stop listening to me. Stop listening to me, Watch. I'm not talking to you. Taylor Hall scored 4 minutes into the match. Jackson Blake added one in the second period, and then Carolina got an empty netter late in the third to seal a victory. It was Carolina's year, right? Team of destiny, Mickey Mouse route in the Eastern Conference. They got it. They got over the hump. They got all the way to the finals and lifted the Stanley Cup. So congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes on getting the job done. Nope, I am not eating canes for a month. Didn't agree to that, but congratulations to Carolina for winning Stanley Cup Finals. First overall pick from the Oilers is a champion. Not who you think it is. Not who you think it is. Not Connor McDavid. Taylor Hall finally lifting Lord Stanley. Come on, Spain. I mean, they're literally playing like they've got all the time in the world. I need 2 goals in 2 minutes, Spain. What are we doing? Let me look at the stats of this game. Spain, Cape Verde, Spain with all the momentum. Duh. 0.77 expected goals. They've controlled 70% of possession. They've put 2 shots on goal. I mean, yeah, they're dominating. But that's soccer for you. You can dominate a stat sheet and still lose or draw, because here comes Cape Verde on the break. Cape Verde has done essentially the same thing on offense every single time they have the ball. They get it wide, get it within the attacking third, and then they just send a ball into the box, which is a solid strategy if you can get more than 2 bodies in there. But 2 Cape Verde forwards up against 4 Spanish defenders, I don't like those odds. Not a winning strategy in my mind. Spain's going to break my heart and get one in stoppage time. I just know it. I just know it. Here they go. Out wide, back in. They almost had it. Oh, well. Spain team total, first half, a loser. It is what it is. It is what it is, folks. Can we talk about New York for a second? Let's talk about New York. New York beat San Antonio in Game 5 of the NBA Finals, down in San Antonio, after falling behind by 10 points in the first quarter, after leading by halftime by 5, after leading after 3 quarters by 7, San Antonio still lost to the New York Knicks, losing 94-90 in Game 5. The Knicks completed the gentleman's sweep of the San Antonio Spurs to win their first title in 53 years. 45 points from Jalen Brunson. At some point, you got to choose to guard that guy, right? Jalen Brunson in the finals, 45 points in Game 5, 36 in Game 4, 32 in a Game 3 loss, just 20 in Game 2, but then 30 in Game 1. 45 points, his highest of the postseason by far. Looks like he had 39 against Atlanta in Game 5. But 45 points from Jalen Brunson, took 27 field goal attempts. Is that half of all the Knicks shots? Not quite. But 27 field goal attempts from Jalen Brunson. Only player to play 40-plus minutes in this Game 5. All 5 starters under contract for 2 more years. Not great news for the rest of the Eastern Conference. It's like watching Patrick Mahomes get all the way to the Super Bowl in his second year. I mean, yeah, Jerry kind of said the Spurs weren't ready, right? And that's something we talked about prior to this series happening. is the experience on the Knicks side, a bunch of guys who have played together for a while, who have been to the Eastern Conference Finals, who are very, very motivated to get over the hump and win a championship. Whereas you got the Knicks, the new kids on the block, inexperienced, bunch of rookies and young players. Yes, they do have the up-and-coming face of the league, but again, that guy's just one man. He can't do it all. The inexperience really bled out. Same with the lack of depth on the bench from the Spurs, and that was something that we talked about as well. Now, Spurs got plenty more bench help in Game 5 than the Knicks. Knicks looked like they only scored 9 bench points in Game 5. 5 from Landry Shamet, 2 from Jordan Clarkson, 2 from Mitchell Robinson. 9 total bench points compared to 32 from the Spurs, 25 of those from Dylan Harper, 7 from Keldon Johnson. But the Knicks all series long looked like the more experienced, more comfortable, deeper team. And it showed because they got their championship. Jeremy Sochan didn't play. Must have played something because he's listed here for 0 minutes. And he does have a +1 plus or minus. So Sochan got on the court at least. Was going to get a ring regardless after playing most of the season with the Spurs. But congratulations to the Knicks. Do we really need to be like rioting though after our team wins a championship? Because, I mean, we know the cliche of like, this is why we can't have nice things. I mean, if your first instinct after your team wins a championship is to tear apart a school bus sitting there on the road, you should probably look inward. There are millions of better ways to celebrate. Yeah, taxis, school buses, it is insane. It's crazy decision making. It's wild that number one, that's your first instinct is, hey, we just won a championship. Let's celebrate by vandalizing our city. That's wild enough. Number two, it seems that it's almost just an accepted behavior, right? We're all kind of looking at it like, oh, well, what do you expect? New York won the championship, right? Just be better, people. Be better. It's insane. And no, this is not just a New York problem. This stuff happens everywhere. But just as a society, we're not going down the right path. When this is the behavior that, again, is accepted and even encouraged after a championship victory. Is mostly, I'm not going to argue with that. But I also think it's wild that, we've gotten to a point where, and let me know if I got Centelled here, but, people walking around New York in the opposing team's jerseys are just subject to assault for wearing the other team's jersey. Really, people? That's where we're at? I mean, sports is supposed to be a unifying thing. I have another gripe with all the freaking political heads in the United States as well with the World Cup. I mean, yeah, you know what? We're Shaggy ranting for the next 8 minutes or so. The World Cup and sports in general is supposed to be a very unifying event, right? Obviously, we have our allegiances, we have our teams, we have who we cheer for, but in the grand scheme of things, we're all coming together to, for some entertainment, right? And of course, everyone wants to use every single major event as a pawn in their political agenda, right? So instead of saying something like, hey, the U.S. men's soccer team is great. This is great for the country. I love seeing American soccer have so much success. We have Democrats and Republicans going at each other saying, hey, this wouldn't happen if you had your way. Or this only happens because we do it our way. This constant division needs to stop. I'm sick of it, especially with something like the World Cup, which is supposed to bring countries together. It's absurd that everyone's first instinct is to make it a political argument. I hate politics. I don't want them in sports at all. Sports are there to unite. They are there to entertain. They're there to bring cities, countries, people together. And it's wild that we have people that think otherwise, but that's, I can't control everybody, right, folks? I can't control everybody. And I got plenty of issues myself, all right? I'm nowhere near perfect. But I'm also not turning every single major event into a political debate because it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be. All right. Well, that is about all I got. Spain laid a stinker, folks. Spain laid a stinker. 12 shots, 4 on frame, controlled over 70% of possession. Couldn't find the back of the net. Couldn't find the back of the freaking net. Stifler said it best. Sports are there to unite. Sports are there to unite. Let's let them do that. Please and thank you. All right, folks. I will have some baseball for you. I'm going to have some MLB best bets out later today. Germany over 8.5 goals. Group was easy. LT, it's not quite home yet. It's not quite home yet. You're looking solid, all right? You got 7 in the first match. Looking great. Hasn't quite cashed yet. Germany does have 2 of their tougher group games coming up next, but they're in a good spot. Over 8.5 goals in the group. That's 3 goals per game average, 7 in the first one. They're looking rock solid. Now they got to face the Ivory Coast and Ecuador. Ecuador's a team that's going to be grinding for a 0-0 draw. So is the Ivory Coast, to be quite honest with you. We saw those two go head-to-head, scoreless until the 90th minute when the Ivory Coast was able to find the back of the net. Shout out the Ivory Coast. Cashed my bet. Got me in betting the pitch a goal for our footy frenzy as well. But yes, over 8.5 group goals for Germany, looking rock solid after the 7-1 annihilation of Curacao. 6-minute goal, 38-minute goal, stoppage time goal. Got things started in the 47th minute in the second half, and then added more in the 68th, 78th, and the 88th, actually. Goals 10 minutes apart last few of the game. I'd expected Spain to be able to do that against Cape Verde. Apparently, I was wrong to think so. Apparently, that was not the case. Look, I still have faith in the Spanish team to win the World Cup. I'm kind of chalking this up to first match jitters, I guess you could say. Again, maybe they came in underestimating Cape Verde a little bit. But, let's look at some live lines, because if their team total at 1.5 is plus money, I might have to get on board. Let's see. They are still minus 156 to score 2 goals in this second half. That's just nowhere near where I want it to be to take that bet. Even minus 120, maybe I'd think about it, but minus 156. Oh, it just went up. Minus 175. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I was looking at the total. Still minus 156, but I'm not taking that. For Spain to score 2 goals, they're probably going to. If you had to get involved live in this game, that's where I'd go. Spain team total over 1.5 for that juice. But they can't finish. I'll give the keeper his flowers because he's made a couple of probably 3 or 4 really good saves. But I expected more from the Spanish team. We'll see if we get it in the later rounds or not. But that is about all I got, folks. Like I said, I'll have baseball scribbles out later today at bettingnews.com. So be sure to check those out. I'll be back on Betspresso with a whole gaggle of dudes. We got SPJ, Vsauce, Adam Kaufman, myself, and Just Sook live on Betspresso here in 4 hours. 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern. Come on back. We'll be recapping both the NBA and NHL finals. We'll be talking MLB, WNBA, and World Cup best bets. We're going to be cooking up a parlay, and I'm not seeing it on the schedule, but I sure hope we're not playing You Got because I am just not prepared to have that screw up the rest of my day like Spain already has. That's what I got, folks. That's all. Thank you for being here, starting your week right here on the Morning Spread, episode 75 of the Morning Spread right here on the BNN. That's a wrap, as StreamYard likes to tell us every time we sign off. I appreciate y'all being here. Like I said, I'll be back at 4 o'clock. You guys should as well. I'll see you then. Until then, Belgium and the under. Belgium money line and the under 3.5 plus 125. Go ahead and take the extra cushion to 4.5 for minus 114 if you'd like. Shop around because you can get plus 127. As our guy Alex was liking to tell us for that parlay. So do your line shopping, get the best bang available for your buck. And I'll see you guys here in 4 hours on Afternoon Betspresso. Thanks for being here. As always, enjoy your Monday. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? Down in the deep. Right here. Rolling. What you gonna do? Rolling. What you gonna do? Down in the rolling. What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit. What you know about